na 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 na. Oh na 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 na.
Why?
Siima.
It doesn't make sense me saying it. It's okay.
The moment passed.
We tried.
I know what you're thinking. The tribe UG looks very, very different today. But there's an explanation for that, and we'll get to it. But I feel it's only proper that I start this week's podcast with a proverb.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Siima. I know you missed this. I know you missed it. I know you guys missed this
Here
one.
we go.
I'm taking you guys to Northern Rhodesia for this one.
Northern Rhodesia.
Yes.
You know it's called Zimbabwe now.
Yes, but when these people were there, because they migrated,
Okay.
they're a pastoralist tribe. They migrated to the Horn of Africa.
Okay.
All right. So when they were in Rhodesia, it was Northern Rhodesia.
Okay.
They're called the Opikachu, and they're from the area of Opokemo.
Real tribe, real place.
A real tribe.
The
And the Opikachu.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
The cousins to the guys, the river that connects to Zamunda.
Oh,
yes,
right.
yes. Just past the Zambezi.
It sounds like a Pokemon, but carry on.
No. It's Opikachu from Opokemo.
All right.
Now they're next to the Oromo in Ethiopia. That's where they are right now. And their proverb, it's ancient African wisdom that I feel I must share on the Tribe UG podcast. The giraffe that chews bubblegum all day knows that the rhino won't fly. But it is only when the skunk eats the cabbage that the monkey choir will hum.
I have questions.
You're made of questions.
I
Siima.
have questions.
It's straightforward. Keke gets it.
No.
Yes, he does.
When would a giraffe be chewing bubblegum, first of all?
First of
and
all.
rhinos do not fly.
That's what you think.
What?
See, let's start from first principles.
It's lonely at the top. You have to choose something.
Exactly. You see, he gets it. Do you know how long it takes for the flavor to get from the mouth to the stomach of the giraffe? No, you only think of yourself because you're selfish.
Okay. So what does the proverb actually mean? Why would I use it in context?
The proverb basically means that they who endure will be victors. Chew the bubblegum until it has no flavor. But when it has no flavor, do not spit it out immediately. Because the rhino could fly.
Okay.
Do you want to miss that event?
I would not want to miss it.
Exactly. And then the skunk eats the cabbage. That's doing too much. It's already a skunk. With risaka, like they call it.
Okay.
But if it eats the cabbage, that's double power. Which again heads into the monkey choir humming. Because they can't open their mouths to breathe in. The skunk has skunked. Okay. So they're only humming.
That's in an Uber every time.
I don't want to lose the will to live this early on. But regardless, we move.
But you know what's a pain in the neck? If the giraffe has to swallow the gum.
Yo,
That's a long neck
that's a long
to swallow
long-
gum.
Yes.
Swallow anything, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't swallow.
That's not what we're here to discuss.
We're not.
It is neither here nor there. Do I look like a giraffe to you?
Well, this is not the podcast your mom warned you about. This is the Tribe UG, and today we have a very special takeover. Not radio came out of retirement because, quite frankly, these guys needed a rest.
We did!
Yeah.
And so they said, please, can we...
They needed a break.
They needed a break, so we said, you know what, guys, for you guys, we love you so much. And also, Damsey threatened us with grievous bodily harm.
She did not.
Wait, Damsey, eh?
Maybe she threatened you.
Damsey is this is recorded.
Go on.
No, I thought I was speaking into the ether, but Damsey is here.
Just say that the best things come in small packages.
That's just something short people say.
Hey.
Hey, no. Except you, of course. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that for you.
Hey.
Round the set we go. This is Siima, aka the Thundering Conclusion.
You guys.
aka Nteyafa.
Talk on it.
aka Damsey grew taller.
She was fixing a bulb.
And that is KK, aka Kalindoli's finest,
Hey.
aka Kamonkoli, aka Makobi grew a beard.
Makobi grew a beard. Speaking of
And
that
I'm
boy,
Rudende, aka Mambeyo Kamere Mario Supu Wange, aka are you sure? Aka this is not the return of the Mark.
oh, that counts.
You know what? I see what you did there.
Send your praise,
I
send
see
your
what
praise.
you
Yo,
did there.
do they charge you for that extra soup in case you run out of soup for the lots of food they gave you? Do you?
I figured it out, by the way.
Because you give me a lot of food with little soup.
Yes.
You have to do food. It's food budgeting. You need to make sure you have enough soup that corresponds with the amount of food you're eating, particularly depending on the food that you're eating.
Now, if you're having, like, say, atapa, you're having it with mimonde, and you have cassava.
Why is your life so tough, bro?
Why?
It's tough enough being a Kampalan.
It is.
Starches must be eaten.
Yes.
In which case, and here's the funny thing: those restaurants don't charge food; they charge sauce. You notice how on all of their boards,
So it's so fast.
beans for thou,
Yes.
meat, peas,
And then
fish,
all foods.
all foods. You know, it'd be really cool though.
What?
If you go get matoke all sauce, don't say all food beans. Get matoke.
And
so
also,
all sauce. Yes.
Some.
It can be done.
but there's surely other places that can do that.
They'd go out of business very fast.
Eh?
That is why your parliament is full of so many useless MPs. Matoke all sauce.
Yeah.
Yes. To whatever.
You guys, you know, in this day and age of AI, all kinds of things have been happening, and I'm sure you've even seen some things on the Ugandan scene.
Yeah.
But I was reading about beloved, respected producer Timbaland.
Oh.
Yeah, who's facing a bit of backlash because he actually unleashed an AI artist.
Hang on a second.
Eh.
Would you say, where's Timbaland in your top producers list of all time? Is he the GO.A.T producer?
Of all time.
You know, listen, you could put him in a God conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you
Top
can.
5 for sure.
Yeah.
But is he top 2?
That's a tough one. I'd have to do a bit more of a deep dive. Yes.
Because you'd have to consider 1, longevity, 2, have they produced across genres?
Exactly.
What kind of movements did they inspire?
No drive-bys.
Well, that
Very
too.
important too.
Yeah.
And no baby oil.
Yeah,
No baby
and
oil.
hey.
This podcast is brought to you by Ken Jojo Baby Oil.
Exactly.
If you're going through a tough time and you need to release,
You need to slide.
absolutely
through
get your
things.
friends together in a freak off to let the world know that you're back in business. Put that mic to your face, Ken Jojo Baby Oil. Smoothing it all out. You were saying?
So Timba has been facing a lot of backlash because he released a song, and I think the artist is called Tata or something.
It's not real, right?
Well, no, it's an AI artist.
Like
And so
purely?
Yeah, it's purely AI.
Okay.
And he is allegedly planning to set up like a whole production company and everything. So he's been facing a lot of backlash because obviously this is a guy who is talented enough to produce music. I mean, he's done it, he's seen
Yeah,
it,
with
listened
real
to it,
people.
we still
Easily.
listen
Yeah.
to it. Yes, but also the claims of ethics around it, because obviously you have to feed you have to prompt the AI. And also people have been saying that what does that mean for actual artists who are sitting down and who are, doing the work and writing the music and writing the lyrics and doing all the production.
Okay.
Yeah. And, things that always things eventually affect what happens here in UG. So it got me thinking about Ugandan artists as things stand with the lack of a copyright law. I mean, already people's IP and would-be royalties are compromised.
Yeah.
But do you guys think that could be something that Ugandan artists would get into, of just, saying, you know what, I need a beat. Let me just get this AI Gundi to do it for me.
I think ultimately AI is not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, anything could be bad in the wrong hands.
That's true.
But if you have... Yeah, Chenjojo baby oil. But my point is, if you have AI and effectively let's say you turn an artist into a prompt engineer.
That is the next thing, by the
That
way.
negates the need for a production house.
Which I think is a problem.
Why? I mean, you either ship up or you're left out.
You see,
The guys who kept on using the horse and buggies, when the car came along, they were left behind.
I get that, but I think when it's tricky, at least for me, as I consider myself a creative. So for me, I find it disturbing that people could actually end up losing their jobs just because you're going to be getting robots to do it. I feel like it might take out, the feeling and the emotion. Part of the reason why we love certain art is because the artist has put their heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
If it's just some random robot that has done it, I just feel like there's going to be, when
But
you
would
eat
you
some
know?
sauce and there's something missing.
But would you know? Would you know?
That's what's even scarier for me. Yeah, I find that really, really scary. Because somebody compared it to actually Timbaland's argument was he said he wanted the music industry to be as big as, let's say, gaming is. So now if KK, you're playing, I don't know, PlayStation or whatever with your boys, and you're playing, let's say, an NBA game. The fact that there's an image of LeBron, it's not taking any money out of LeBron's pocket.
Because you paid for image rights.
Yeah, exactly. But if you are now not going to bother going to, I don't know, Nava Gray or Silver Chagulani to write a song, you're essentially taking money out of their mouths. You get it? So I feel that some things have to be left, I feel, in the purest creative form. That you cannot recreate that feeling and that emotion that artists put into their art, in my opinion.
Well, that's a good argument.
Give them the tools to make things a bit easier.
True,
I get that.
But the problem that many people have, okay, let me speak from a food production point of view. Okay.
It's always about food.
Yeah, but this is a good analogy, guys. It's a very good analogy.
It is.
A lot of the people who start out from, say, baking and stuff, they start out, and when they're producing small orders for like 50 people, there's a certain magic they can create. Yeah. When it comes to mass production, it's very hard for them to replicate what they got in the 50 pieces and now have to do that over, say, 5,000 pieces. Right?
Well, of course, you need a bigger team, probably more machinery and so on and so forth.
But that's now a modern problem for you, and it's a good problem to have.
But the essence of the recipe stays.
The essence of the recipe stays, yes, but now more people can enjoy it, all right? And maybe they're not making it by hand anymore. Now they're using machines to whip up the batches and stuff. Right. But some people might argue that's not made with love anymore. If somebody was actually kneading the croissants and doing them by hand, it's not the same as them being produced. Ultimately, that's the world that we are heading into. Yeah.
Fortunately or unfortunately.
Yes. So we have to shape up or you shape out.
Timbaland from a time, and I joked about this earlier, where there was drive-bys. If I'm creating an AI artist, think of all the things I am throwing out. Oh, man, I'm hangover. I can't make it to the studio.
Out.
Where's my money?
Drug addiction.
We need strippers.
Yeah.
All those little things that humans give you, all that crap, you slowly pull out. And what that does is now you create a machine or whatever this is that then lifts the game, because then lazy artists, talented people who don't want to show up to the studio, people who don't want to give in their time will then step up or step out. I just think it's great for the game. And I think we're going to a point where, I mean, listen, we're going to sit here and just start predicting what AI is going to do in the next couple of years, how many jobs it will destroy. And me, I just be laughing. Yesterday on the bus here, I was in Fort Portal. I was thinking to myself, I was looking at my experience in farming, and I had just solved like 15 problems by just being on my phone. Yeah. I took pictures of the plants. I asked, and I'm on the cheap free stuff. Yeah. I'm on the stuff you pay $10 for. I'm on Chat, GPT. I'm on the village, Yeah. And the village, she still hooks me up with the latest stuff. And she's like, no, this plant here, it's spotting this, try this. And I'll tell the guy on the phone, and say, yeah, that's exactly what we're thinking. I'm like, So I've pulled out the vet. I pulled out a whole bunch of guys. The only people I'm keeping in the rotation are the manual guys, the laborers, the carriers, the protection. Yeah. But everything else, and that's, music is just basically a little look into what else is going to get messed. But I like the fact that Timbaland is leading the way. I mean, when he came back in the day, he was always laughed at, computer man and so many things. And even when everything was normal, Timbo just felt like he was ahead of the game. And he's doing the same thing with Timbaland. I mean, with Timberlake. What are you doing with this white boy? You were used to Aaliyah and Genuine. And I just like the way he's going. He's just telling other producers, step up. There's a better way to script, better way to create this stuff.
To efficiency.
Coachella showed you what to do with Tupac's passing.
The hologram.
Create the hologram. So
which is a little bit creepy, I'm not going to lie.
Would you go to a Tina Turner concert?
Not a hologram one, no. Really? Nah, I just feel that's a bit, a little bit
It's an interesting angle that he brings.
Yeah.
Let's step away from the hologram. Right. Azawi had a massive song called Masavu.
Yes.
But some radio stations were playing a version by radio.
They made it like a duet.
Exactly.
I heard it.
Yes. That opens up another slippery slope.
Okay.
It does.
For AI production, because one, where do the royalties go in that place?
Thank you.
Okay. Who does the IP belong to?
And who gives the permissions?
Exactly. Because if you wanted to say, maybe have a sample of a Paulo Coelho song or a Philip Tyler song, you'd go to his estate.
Right. Yes.
You'd go to his family who would give you the rights or the permission to sample his music. Yeah. But now, what's to stop a guy using AI to say, you know what? I want Otis Redding.
No, but people are doing that already. How many versions have you seen? I've seen a version of Thriller by Michael Jackson sung by Freddie Mercury.
But you see,
Yes.
yes, but that's people just playing around now. It's a different story if radios start playing it, which was happening with Mose Radio's version.
And you see, again,
of
that goes back to what I was saying about what does this mean for Ugandan artists? Because already, at least in my opinion, they do not have the protections that they deserve. So now, if this starts now, where is it going to end? Because anybody could easily say, I'm going to recreate a song and I'm going to use radio's voice without any permission, without any consideration for his family or anything like that. It will never end.
And even if you look beyond radio, the whole music distribution scene has been democratized. Because if you can put it on your TikTok, it'll get legs and go.
Done.
It does, yeah.
You put it on your socials, it get legs and go.
Yeah.
You could even, if you decide to, upload the Google Drive.
Yes.
And just tell guys, you know what? Here's my music. Have at it.
Yes.
It's cool. Listen, cab drivers made peace with it when Uber showed up. And so many other things made peace. Pornhub had to make peace with X. You know? So these artists...
I'm not going to ask how you know
this
that.
is a family show.
But I'm going to step up or step out. And I just... Listen, I am excited about this AI thing.
Nothing about it scares you.
Listen, what's that boy's name? Wiry, the love child. He sang about this. AI. But, you know, we knew this day was coming.
Oh, well.
Why are you going so far across borders? Because right here, Queen Sheba said you told you to do what? Katigamba AI.
It's not I. Rudende.
It's AI. Say it. What is AI?
I.
Thank you. Queen Sheba. Team, no sleep.
Have you guys seen The Companion real quick?
No.
I should watch the movie The Companion.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Where you have basically a robot girlfriend.
A robot girlfriend.
Yes.
My friend linked me to that movie and I just told myself, you know what?
They linked you.
In a world where the number one killer of guys our age is depression, loneliness. A lot of the people out there are actually lonely. They're alone.
That is true.
This AI team companion things create for them companions who don't give them stress,
but it's not
who don't support us. No,
But KK,
listen.
I'm sorry. I'm loath to agree with Siima.
It's just not real.
They are watching us and saying, shut up, humans suck.
She does have a point.
I actually think it's
It's
dangerous.
not real.
Yeah.
Because you're putting a band-aid
Listen,
on a ripped arm.
Yeah.
Home Alone kids, is Mother's Home kids. You guys who are on the landline, you can't say nothing. There's a generation out there who don't care for Sunday school, for holding hands and saying kumbaya. They love one or two friends.
Which is fine,
You know,
but at least that's human connection.
Exactly.
It's not you talking to a robot, which, by the way,
You think they care, though?
you prompt to be the perfect girlfriend or boyfriend that you would want. Okay, in an ideal world, that would be very, very nice. You know, don't get me wrong. I would love to get home and find Idris Elba naked on a bed of lettuce, but it's not real.
You haven't yet?
Guys,
No, not yet.
a family show. What Siima was saying does make a lot of sense.
It does.
The male loneliness epidemic that we're going through right now,
Yeah.
which is a very, very big problem.
It's huge.
And it being the tail end of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
A lot of the friendships that men have
Right.
are structural.
Right.
And by structural, I mean he is your guy that you discuss rugby with.
Yeah.
Outside of those precepts, what do you talk about?
True.
You haven't fostered that relationship beyond which into something that is multifaceted. A lot of guys, boy, chief, you don't know the person behind the person. So you meet him in the bar or you meet him in the gym. So a lot of male friendships are very structural. So if you are defaulting to something that is not real and curating it to have the perfect experience, you're not solving the problem.
At all. You're not
simply
solving the problem.
postponing it, and it's going to be much worse when you actually crash.
And you make
it's
it
inevitable that you will crash.
And you'll make it even harder for these men to actually form connections with real people or real women or whatever. Yeah. So I just think it freaks me out a little bit. Maybe I've just watched too many movies. Maybe I watched Megan and I saw when the robot stops listening to your instructions.
No, again,
Moreover,
kids,
here in Uganda-
ignore my friends. They watch Terminator 2, 3, 4 till 9. So
Yeah.
they're scared of robots getting... but
Actually, maybe I have some
You
kind of
guys are just
PTSD.
traumatized.
PTSD from Schwarzenegger.
you guys
We
are
never thought we would
traumatized.
get there, and yet we are here. We
These
are
kids
living
now,
the movies
what
we used to
traumatized them, I
watch.
was like triggered. You guys, it's real stuff. Terminator 2, 3. Them Squid Game. But listen, guys, I just feel like this generation, not us, we're old.
Speak
Not
for
that old.
yourself.
They're comfortable talking to their PlayStation and the little guys that they make run around.
But that's because that's what they know.
They're comfortable just putting 5 stars and not talking to the guy who's going to pick them up. And they have made it so easy and so comfortable. As we want to hold hands, want to go for lumbes, we want to go for wakes. That's us. And we need to recognize that our generation, there's going to be a time where going to the village for Christmas is like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
You get?
Not
Which
gonna
is
happen.
sad.
And they have new friends who they'll never meet.
Which is sad.
That's
You
very
know?
sad because what is the very essence of who we are as African? Ubuntu. Umuntu, numuntu nabantu. I am because we are.
Okay.
I cannot be on my own.
Yeah.
What does it sound like? Generations that soap from South Africa.
Please don't open the door. You know he
They
likes
almost
showing
did.
off the clicks. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And click me.
My goodness.
Let's keep it with the Ugandan artists. Sorry, that was a mental health break. The Tribe UG, taken over by Not Radio. Ugandan songs, I don't know if it's just me, but they're getting shorter and shorter, and it's annoying me.
I feel it's a TikTok thing.
But why?
Well, because you need to get that hook that will grip people for 30 seconds of a quick dance challenge so it'll move faster. And also attention economy. People nowadays, guys don't have time.
Yeah.
Like he said,
Or
they're happy
actually-
to 5-star it because they're online.
Actually, no, it's not
looking
that
for
they
the
don't have
next dopamine
time.
hit.
They don't have the attention span. Okay. They don't have the attention
That's
span.
the word.
Pains me.
Yeah.
That pains
it's short
me.
attention span. You're making a Kanonka move, 15-minute
Exactly.
track. No.
That's why I mean, look at it. Even now, guys are like, I'm not going to sit and watch this series. Let me go on YouTube and find a summary. I won't lie, I do that
Me
sometimes,
too.
especially for shows that I haven't watched for a long time. But you see, there's that. Oh, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to read this book. Let me just
that's
get a
us.
summary.
Get a brief synopsis.
For the song, but the songs, it makes me sad because I feel that I miss when there was an intro, a verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, then the final chorus, maybe a repeat at the end. Nowadays, whenever there's a song that comes out, it's over before I've really gotten into it. Okay.
You
Maybe-
just stood up, you
maybe
just tied the jacket around your waist.
Right. I'm
Again-
just
again-
dance walking to the dance floor. And then,
Generation that wrote letters, waited 2 weeks.
miss that.
You have patience.
Yeah.
Right?
no, because it's
Here,
not-
kids break up on the next slide. I like you too. Wait a minute. Not so sure.
Swipe.
You've triggered something, so they've moved on in a second. So their songs have got to be shorter. I remember a time where Akon, I think, was on an interview, and he said he figured out how to make a lot of money in America. The ringtone, right? The power of the ringtone. Many of his songs took him to #1 because he knew how to make them sound like
So you need that catchy bit.
early in.
Yeah.
And one of our greatest rap songs of all time, and we love this song, The Rock Wilder.
Oh,
Yes.
That song was a
Yes,
quick in
yes,
a cab.
yes,
You
yes.
know?
The
It
Rock
starts and it's
Wilder
done and you're like, are they done?
annoys me.
It's
It
too
annoys me
short.
because just when you've gotten to the meat of it,
Yes.
Boom.
it ends. It's like Juicy by
Yeah,
Radio and
Juicy
Weasel.
is a short song.
It's a very short song.
But yeah, I think that, and then also I feel that because of the way things are now with streaming and so on, artists are under a lot more pressure to just keep churning stuff out. So if I'm not going to let me not spend time in the studio giving you a solid 10-track album. I'm going to
Maybe
give you
an
an EP with 5 tracks. Each track is like maybe 2 minutes, two and a half
beep.
minutes max, and then we move. So I feel that there's also that pressure of streaming, because as soon as people have gotten your song, they've rinsed it for the week, they're now asking you, when's the next one?
The funny thing is, attention spans have meant that these songs have to be shorter because you're only paid on streaming if the song is listened to in full. So if it's
wow.
if it's a minute 59 and then they skip on to the next thing because of the short
See,
attention
there
span,
you go.
then you start making your money.
So
But what
everything
does
is structured around
But what
that.
does that mean for? Side note. One of the greatest Ugandan songs of all time.
According to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're going to agree
We
with
want
the
to
song.
protect ourselves early.
Yeah, wait. When I mentioned the song,
Just
We shall
protecting
both
ourselves, Siima and myself, because we
Thank
know
you.
he has taken us into holes so many times.
Ragadi Oyagala Cash, which is like the Ugandan Bohemian Rhapsody, because the man gave us
I warned you, Siima.
Swahili, English, he raps.
I warned you.
There's a Lingala guitar.
Yes.
It's one of the you can't have that anymore.
You
Because
can't.
people won't wait for the build.
They won't.
Yeah.
For the what? Overture.
No.
What's it called?
It's an overture.
That
but
one.
But that's not what it is.
Okay, but the crescendos.
Yes.
But waiting again,
Yeah.
you guys just love again. You kids, they're from an era of foreplay. 2 hours.
I don't know why he's pretending as if he's also not a
No,
millennial
really?
like us.
Keke might be the oldest on
I
this
got
set.
it.
Right? Right?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
You've heard of the death of the DJ.
Yes.
I tell my friends, we're going to be in a rap song, 6 of us. I'm like, hey, where are you going? I'm going 4th. I'm like, I tell those guys are going 1 or 2. Why? Death of the DJ. The DJ is going to mix that song by the third guy.
Yeah.
You're going to kill it last.
Yeah. No one's gonna
The
hear your
club will
verse.
never hear your track.
Yeah.
10 years in the future, people will be in jail watching full tracks in jail. Hey, this song is long. That guy's in this song. What? So get in early and jump out like your parents did. Okay? My bad.
But
I just feel that it's not giving things enough of a chance
to do what?
to bake, like to cook nicely. You know, I feel like we're just taking it off the stove too soon.
These days, don't wait to finish the wedding before guys get divorced.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We're
That's
jumping
fair.
into new things because of this. The slide,
That's
the reel. I'm fed up.
But you see, I feel like we've created a generation who they want everything quickly. I feel like,
Pause.
you know, I might seem like I'm okay, but all I want is some spicy chicken wings. I want them now. They bring you the spicy chicken wings. If you want whatever this, they can bring it to
Where
you
have I read
immediately.
that?
So it's the same with the music.
If you know, you know.
Hey.
But wait, is that us creating it, or is it the audience creating that by demanding that from the artists? Because you can't say we created that generation.
No, I don't think
They've
we
done it
created that.
themselves.
When it comes to the artists, no, I'm not specifically in terms of music. Yes, I feel that artists are responding to the way things are,
Right.
but it's because technology has, for better or for worse, taken us to a time when we can get things much much faster. Okay. Also, we have to admit that this generation, if we're looking at Gen Zs, they are much more in control of the music industry than, let's say, millennials were. Because millennials, first of all, it was for buying physical copies of the music if you had the pocket money for it. Otherwise, it was for your parents
Right.
to get it. You didn't control, you didn't touch
Excuse
the
me,
dial.
please. It was for recording
Yes.
on the radio, like so.
Uh-huh.
And then Kanyonyi Kegwanga comes in and say, Kanokayimba. You're like, boss,
You
shut
get.
up. Let the
You know,
song play.
I think that's how we fell in love with the radio. We're trying to rewind our favorite songs on the radio to repeat them, and we've listened to the DJ over and over again. Then we got the joke eventually.
Yes, but also you had the patience to sit and wait for your
Different
song.
generation, bro.
Different generation, man.
It's a tough one.
It is.
Over to me. It is my turn.
Yes,
Hey.
it is.
It is my turn.
Uh-huh.
We didn't talk about our favorite songs coming to this part, though, did we?
Oh,
Define favorite
define
song.
favorite song.
Because there's a rule on this tribe thing here. Other tribes, you can't do this. This tribe here, you gotta spread out a song that speaks to you.
I feel like I need to say this for the people who are first-time listeners / viewers of the Tribe UG. They do this thing where they say a Ugandan song that described your week.
Your week.
That described your week.
Weak.
I'm sorry we're doing it now, but
That's
we're
a-
going to do it anyway.
Hey, that's a tricky
Who said 4
one.
players to come first?
Who said 4 players?
I think
to
it's in the
come
name,
first?
but yeah, carry on. Yes, KK.
A song for the week. Because we're one podcast alone. There's a guy last night who did one night alone. Today I was asked if I want chocolate or dower. I said no dower. So I go Elijah Kitaka, Hakuna Dawa.
That's a good song, though.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
My other song of the week. This song speaks to me. I love it. Because I love food, just like you guys.
Yes.
He's talking about feeding this girl. And this is my most favorite line. I'm a roll you one. It's something. The lighter.
Pick my song, man.
I'm a
That's
roll
Joshua
you one.
Barker.
Yeah. Is it a
Wrong
Rolex?
places.
Is it what is it rolling for
No,
her?
that's- don't
It's a
worry.
Rolex, right?
No,
He wants to feed her. She's skinny.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not
not
that.
that.
What is he rolling?
The only do you
The
want
lighter he gives her to light the cigarette for the Rolex.
No.
No, it's
not
not.
quite.
She rolled the bud.
Rolled.
She smoked the bud.
Oh, wrong lyrics.
So
Yes.
you said yes.
You hear hee.
Josh and Elijah, new blood, new. Listen, if File Bongo Leluta woke up today and saw those 2 boys, he would say incredible. Sad song, Joe Quiz Clean, any song.
Okay.
He's touring Europe, props.
Wow. Okay. Well, KK took one of mine. Definitely.
You can have it back.
I can.
It's not about Rolex. It's about.
No, I mean,
cannabis.
I won't lie. I will seriously listen to just pretty much anything
I don't care
that
for cannabis.
Joshua Baraka does. But there's an artist that, and of course, Azawi. Love Azawi.
Love Azawi.
And Benji Kasule. Great voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to some Benji Kasule, I don't know what
Benji
you're doing with your
Kasule.
life. Yeah.
That was
So-
great.
I love her.
Yeah, she played that song for Capital FM. Repeat it.
Yes.
KK.
It wasn't their song.
Dude,
I thought it was a constipation song.
constipation song.
Yeah.
What
And
do you
does how you
mean?
have constipation when she sang that
That
song?
was a Capital FM song.
She
Why
said,
did-
Bianuma. So
Azawi, I'm sorry.
Who are your
But I
songs?
apologize.
Don't give us Rugged D, please.
I'm not going to pick Raggedy, but I'm going to pick 3 songs.
Okay.
One's new-ish,
Uh-huh.
and then one for an artist that I feel should have gotten more recognition for what she did at the time,
Right.
because she was quite of a trailblazer, and a song that for me just triggers puppy love.
Okay, before you continue, Mike
Yes.
Yazegidi and Coco Finger, not new song.
Not
No,
allowed, eh?
No.
They're out of this
No.
list.
Yeah.
They get honorary mention.
That's why I said new-ish.
Uh,
R&B rap collaboration. These 2 guys for me, whenever they do a song together, it just works.
Go on then.
Ghost, Maurice Kiri and Ruyonga.
Ah, great one.
That's a jam.
Dope video as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
2, Eki, Wailai. I feel like Eki didn't get the recognition that she deserved.
She didn't, by the way.
For what she did at the time.
She was a Rolls Royce.
This was Eki 2014, 15.
Like UG House.
Yes.
Eki is, I come to my house for house party. Oh, come I show you my garage. Check out my Rolls Royce. Take it out. No, leave it inside here. That was Eki.
Yeah.
Like the ones who knew her. Kind of like Yvonne the singer.
Like they're protected by like a time capsule.
Don't be mainstream. Don't keep dandali yourself. Incredible.
Absolutely. Oh, Yvonne the singer.
True.
Yvonne the singer's voice is ethereal.
But it's not about being mainstream, but at least getting your props when they're due.
That is true, yeah.
Because Eki gave us a lot of good music. And she was very genre specific and true to it. And that's what I loved about her.
Yeah.
So Eki, wherever you are, shout out from the tribe / not radio.
Yes.
The third song is Bera Nange. Tonics.
Tonics.
Yeah.
That song takes you back to a place when it was still pure. Can you remember when you had your first vibe? When you were still a virgin?
There's a reason. You know, I've seen Rudende several times when that song comes on, either in public or maybe it plays when, you know, we're in studio. There's something happened. There's some latent trauma that you haven't healed from.
No, it's
and
not
I feel
trauma.
that this
There is
might be
something
a good
about
place
It's not
to
trauma.
Who is she?
to heal.
No.
This is a judgment-free zone, Rudende.
True.
We won't judge you.
And
much.
there's nothing to cathartic about because that takes me back to the purest. You know that one person, it takes you back and it's just a good feeling. You only have good memories about that person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Before the
Who was
cynicism of life takes
Who
over.
was she,
Yes.
Rudende?
Huh?
Who was she?
Her name was Anna.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up, her name was Anna.
Because, you know, he talked about how, you know, okay, when you go back and then when you're still a virgin, I'm thinking, better than that's 2008, bro. That's, no, late.
Different.
Speak for yourself.
I'm a late bloomer.
You're a late bloomer. You're talking about me, speak ragadi. Oh, carry on, don't stop. Carry on, don't stop. What's the dealio?
Stop it.
Okay, fine. Guys, shout outs to all the Ugandans who just took it to the next level in June. Whether you lived there for a few years and joined the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns, whether you were born in Boston but still have a Ugandan name and end up at the LA Lakers, whether you're Kanungu boy and end up touring Europe, we're shouting out the different boys and girls who have basically made us proud in the month of June. And one of the other guys who made us proud was our good friend Zoran, who basically were there chilling, and next thing you know, he is chilling with the bad boys.
Quite literally.
We thought the king of New York was Joseph Opio. By writing for the funniest men in New York, we thought this is the new right daddy, you know? But then Joseph had to step aside, and these other guys, and they have the Ugandan flag, and I just thought we're doing great in a time of politics where we're out here fighting each other and playing short songs for 2 minutes.
Polarizing.
These kids have said we shall think outside the box and these borders, and they're going out there to do incredible stuff. I love the mayoral race in New York, and I love that American politics, we don't care for it until we have to care for it, and now we're caring for that race. And it got me thinking, if our guys can do it, age 33, go to foreign lands and dominate. And many of our friends right now get into these MP races. You know, we've seen my buddy John Akbiakutaga is in an MP race somewhere.
Yeah. I think our generation has stepped up. I mean, first of all,
we're getting there.
The attrition rate in parliament is what, 70%? Yeah. You are more likely than not. Yeah. You are more likely to not return to parliament than you are to return. Because only 30% of the guys who were there in the before 2021 got back. That's 71% didn't make it back. Wow. And it's time for us to step up.
I've seen the media guys. I know there's one of my OGs, Joyce Bagala, got into the thing as well. I met her at Sanyu.
Oh, okay.
and just many others. Victoria Bagaya as well. You guys, do you think you'll do the thing at one point, Siima?
Kanindo 2031. Rampara, here we come.
No, thank you.
Yes.
No, not gonna happen.
55, and if I've called and said, Siima, pick up your damn money. I know you're married to Idris Elba in his 80s, but can't pick up your money.
No, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I'd much rather serve my country in other ways, to be honest.
Never, ever.
No,
Rudende, never.
No.
If you were to do like one thing to change this country, if you say, don't be in politics, but give the leaders, just give them one idea to change everything, what would it be?
Downloadable food.
What?
But seriously.
Hit us.
Seriously, if I were to say one thing and one thing only,
Yes.
pay your local service providers.
Okay.
For real?
because that way you stimulate the local economy. If you pay your providers, you pay everybody who is a service provider to government, of course, your money is spread out over so many financial cycles, right? But how many people do you know who are owed by government? Because the services the list is endless.
Yes.
If you pay those people, you stimulate the economy because suddenly there's more disposable income, and you'll have created a middle class. And for an economy to thrive, you need to have a robust and liquid middle class. Right now, our middle class does not have enough money because the safety net that government should provide is not there. So basic social services like health, education, transport, and security, even trash collection. But if you take care of all that, then I don't have to worry about getting my kid into a good school because I know the public school is just as good.
That would change us?
It will change us. Because suddenly, if you have more liquid money, then it's easier for you to invest. There's more for you to save.
Siima?
You see?
And please don't say on Fridays the traffic policemen should become DJs.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I would hope for sort of greater investment and appreciation of arts and the humanities. And I understand, in this day and age, it's 2025, looking to the future, sort of sciences and technology. But there's something about the humanities and the arts that I think, first of all, encourages research, encourages empathy, and I feel that in this day and age, if we let go of that, there's something in essence that we're going to lose. I mean, already you can see, I feel like partly like the world is broken. This might sound a bit bleak, but you see some of the things that people say on social media. Like you think, what is happening? The things that people feel free to say and do to each other. I just feel that if there was something where, people were sort of encouraged to sort of read more, express themselves more, then
it's not illegal yet.
It's not illegal yet. Yeah. That is something that I wish our leaders could focus on.
KK?
Bat my neck. Talking to me?
You're talking to you.
Talking to me?
I'm talking to
I'm
you.
going to be the next mayor of this place. I got the solution for you.
For
Are you guys ready?
What is the solution, KK?
For Kampala or for Uganda?
I have been thinking long and hard. And it's not a Viagra ad, but I have been thinking. All right? Let me give you my speech.
Okay.
All right? Yeah, I talked to my guy. Good evening, citizens of this great and heavily taxed nation. My name is KK, your future mayor, president, and chief vibe curator. Now, Uganda is a beautiful country. You have been to Fort, you have seen that place. You have been to Kanungu, you've smelled that place. You have been everywhere. It's just incredibly fly.
Right?
Yes.
Why you say Kawempe?
Yeah, you smell Kawempe when you're in Kawempe. You know. Everything is beautiful minus our internet connection. That takes its time. It's a land of opportunity, especially if your uncle's in procurement.
Yes, that's true.
I got a couple. A country full of natural resources, none of which show up in the budget, but who's asking?
Yeah.
Now I step forward with a bold solution. Because yesterday when I was going through my farming on ChatGPT, it gave me every solution I needed minus one. I still had to make a freaking 6-hour trip to get back here.
Well, of course.
All right? Most times you come back and the children are sleeping.
You can't teleport yourself.
You cannot teleport yourself. This country does not need more tarmac. It needs trajectory.
Explain.
I think to make this the greatest nation on earth, we got to do something the Indians did, but the lions ate them. We got to do something that takes us in places in seconds. If you're paying 1 million shillings in rent in Kampala, when you can pay 200,000 in the Ruminant County, but be at Sanyu in 30 minutes for your show, you would live in the Ruminant country.
KK, in a heartbeat.
Easily.
See what I mean?
Yes.
Easily.
In a
That
heartbeat.
guy can come from Fort, from his mother's cucumber farm,
Do the show.
go to a baby shower
Yes.
in Bali, pass by Kenjojo, and then in an hour, and then catch Super Rugby at 4:30. He'll be happy.
Yeah.
Very, very happy.
Let's put all this stupid money together and put us a little railway, a fast, super fast train. Because once you fix our train system, make it the best in Africa, I think we shall be the best in the world.
Easily. High speed
KK,
monorail.
don't eat the money. How the money come from? Let's legalize cannabis.
Okay.
For every kilo we sell, a subsidiary goes into the railway thingy. Let's bottle the water from River Nile. Let's call that Nile special. Say to the Jews, say, this is the bottle of Moses. Each is $1,000. If guys are paying millions to go to Mecca, why wouldn't you pay 10 million to come get some bottled water from the river of Moses. We have things in our country that I think our minister is not thinking about really.
Yeah.
He's thinking about the same old tad things, tourism and coffee. I know you guys love coffee, but
Which all, if marketed properly, can get us a lot of money.
Incredible
But yes,
stuff.
it
If
does make
marketed
sense to diversify our portfolio.
7 years, that's the average time. By the time the Manchester United Stadium is ready and Arsenal maybe have a Champions League, you might have your very first train. The one that's in Kampala, that's not a train. That's Thomas.
There's a-
That's Thomas.
That is
Thomas.
Gali.
Yeah, the engine attacked. That's different, you know. And you just divert all the trillions in corruption, all the trillions on Bandali.
That's a big ask.
It's a big ass, KK. I
Especially on
admire
Bandali.
I admire your optimism
Yeah.
and your vision. To just
You don't want to live in Rampara anymore.
no, actually, I'd rather be in Fort, to
There's
be
an
honest.
X
But yeah,
there
but
that
no. Village, like, listen, sign me up. If there was a way to get out of the Kavuyo of Kampala and still be able to pay my bills, in a heartbeat.
Kampala is for Asians and politicians, man. It's just,
That's fair. But now you want to take him away from her lakefront property.
Rudende, I do not have lakefront property. This rumor you keep insisting on needs to die.
We deal with mosquitoes, Siima deals with lake
That,
flies.
Rudende, that is not true.
wait,
Okay,
wait,
that is true.
Lake breeze. You see?
But it's not lakeside property. Don't listen to Rudende.
Siima is closer to the lake than all of us.
I double checked, by the way, her pictures with the lakeside property, and down there was Meta AI, so that was just Photoshop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey.
Don't send her thieves.
Please don't. Please do not.
Give her a top 5 though. There you go.
Speaking of which, in case you're just watching the Tribe UG for the first time, what are you doing with your life? But welcome. This is, of course, the Not Radio Takeover. And just in case you haven't caught any Not Radio episodes before, there is...
See your life. How have you not caught any of them?
But you can still listen to them. They're still there.
Yes.
On the interwebs.
5 seasons worth.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't shout at people. But there is a tradition where normally, depending on something that we're discussing, I tend to round up a top 5 because I like making lists. Okay, I am that person.
Yes, Siima is that person.
I always have lists of to-dos and the do-not-dos.
Yes.
Also.
To take and do not take.
Do not be mayor of the city.
And so recently, I was having a conversation with a niece of mine. I took her and some of her friends out. Being the
You've
auntie.
become that auntie.
I am that auntie. Can you imagine? And, we were having a great conversation, but I ended up getting a little bit offended because they started going on about how old millennials are. They kept saying, you millennials.
How old are they?
They are, my niece is 22.
So they're 22 makes them a Gen Z.
Yes.
Right?
So her and her friends are
millennials,
like
what
22,
again? They're
22 years old. 80, I think.
Not
Is it
83?
79?
79 to 92.
No, to 95.
It's 95.
Yeah.
Okay.
To 95.
So, of course, for me, I'm considered a geriatric millennial. I learned that phrase as well. I'm a geriatric. When you're a
Break that
millennial
down.
who's closer to the those ones,
Okay, go.
yes.
Academia.
But I'm not
Yeah.
that old as people
Yeah.
make them out to be. But she was going on about
Sima's
how,
knees,
listen, my knees are fine. I
did
stretch and I hydrate. I will
didn't say
have you
anything.
know.
But she's more likely to bust an ACL if she touches.
Then did you really want to do this when you're sitting this close to me and there's a sharp object on the table?
You know what?
I think.
You make a very good point.
Thank you. So anyway, there I was having a conversation with my niece and her friends. She was going on about how, no, you millennials, there's certain things that you people need to let go of. Some of the clothes you're trying to
been telling
wear,
you.
some of the slang you're trying to use. You're just old people. You
I've
need to
been
leave the
telling
things
you.
alone. And I said, excuse me, please. You need to put some respect on millennials because we have been through some shit.
Exactly.
Okay?
Some shit's been through us.
Well, that too. So if there are any Gen Zs who are watching the Tribe UG right now, okay, allow me to quote the diminutive philosopher, the compact lyrical assassin, Mr. Cutie Patootie himself, Kendrick Duckworth Lamar.
What's his middle name?
Duckworth.
For real?
Like the butler, yeah.
When he said, bear with me for a second, let me put you all on game.
Okay.
Presenting Siima's top 5 reasons why you need to leave millennials the fuck alone. Okay?
Let's go.
First of all, don't mess with us. We're tired. Not tired. We are tired.
Tired.
Okay? We grew up before the internet was a thing. Before social media was a thing.
Yeah.
For us, social media was sharing newspapers and mixtapes. Okay? That was it.
Or like tips.
Yeah.
Remember how great you
Actually,
do know?
Instagram was come to my place and show an album for an whole hour.
There you go.
What? You were fat. Shut up. Yeah.
Those things. The VHS black market
Oh, yes.
or the VBM.
Blockbuster.
That's coming up in just a little bit.
Right.
Taking number 4 spot on Siima's top 5 reasons why you need to leave millennials alone.
Far from them.
We had to figure out our own entertainment as kids.
Yes.
Okay, how do you think games like Tapo and Dulu came about? Do you even know what those are?
They have no idea.
They don't.
But you see, we were constrained by our time. If you were bored, it was either you pray, you sleep, or you masturbate.
That is
Times
it.
are hard.
This top 5 is brought to you by Suffering, the original Ugandan flex.
Exactly.
Yes.
The
We love
original
Suffering.
suffering. Okay. Taking the number 3 spot on Siima's top 5 reasons why you should leave millennials alone. We couldn't play pranks on our parents.
How?
Leave alone film them and put them
Don't.
on the internet for
Film
the
them
world to
with
see
what?
their
Yo.
humiliation.
Film them with
Do you
what?
First of all, filming them with what? There's also that.
I just thought about pranking my mom, man. I didn't make it.
You already know.
This is your ghost.
You already know.
My God.
Yes.
Dude, how film them with what the cameraman visited your home once a month.
Even once a
to bring
once a
last month's
month.
pictures.
The only things that were filmed back in the day were funerals, because you had to
Yes.
send it to somebody who couldn't have made it for the funeral.
Or like at your wedding.
Exactly. But even then, it was grainy footage.
Yes.
Yes. So guys, leave us alone. We're tired. 24-hour channels, please.
How?
TV started at 3 p.m. and ended at midnight. If you were even allowed to stay up that late. That one.
They can't Shazam that.
They can't. They cannot Shazam that. Also, do you know why? I think that people should leave millennials alone. Guys, the global events we've lived through.
Ah,
Bill Clinton in his office.
yes.
Okay. Michael Jackson Super Bowl performance. The template.
Yes.
By the way. The original Destiny's Child lineup. Latoya, Kelly, Latavia, and Beyonce. Yes, I was there.
Yes.
I bought the albums
Yes.
physically.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect generation.
Yes. Club Silk, Wagadugu, Stakeout, Alzawadi.
You've spoken of places people have never heard of.
Wait, those places are malls
Yes.
or offices.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, wow.
Embassies.
What? Yes.
They're all embassies.
Yes.
You know, you were here trying to get somewhere, trying to get a visa. Like,
Exactly.
change the South Sudanese embassy now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, taking the number 1 spot.
Number
And by
one
the way,
spot.
these ones were in no particular order. Guys, you don't know true load shedding. You don't remember a time when a bottle of soda was 300 shillings.
Oh my God.
Yes. 300 shillings.
The UEB was traumatizing.
Yeah. See?
Here's the thing. People don't. Somebody needs to do a study on the correlation between the load shedding schedule
Yes.
of UEB and all the 51% of Ugandans who are below 17. Because if you go back 17 years, there's a reason why all those kids are there now.
But
We had
there
nothing
you
to do.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Guys forget that electricity was prophylaxis.
Okay.
It was. It was.
Put on TV, watch Farmer's World.
Yes.
If not, the darkness, what are you going to do?
You're going to do.
Yeah.
Not
Actually, when you think
Not
about
Radio
it,
Season 1, Episode 5.
boom.
I just want to say that on behalf of your nieces,
Yes.
I need to apologize on their behalf.
Okay, go on
Because
then.
if they're making fun of you, Siima, that's elder abuse. It needs to end. Guys,
Siima, it's all right.
we
Siima, it's all right.
have a whole ministry of the elderly in this
Rudende,
country.
Rudende.
We have MPs
It's
representing
all right.
the elderly.
Siima, let it go.
And there they are attacking Siima.
Siima, it's all right. Siima, it's all right.
Siima is so close.
Careful.
By the way, you nieces who are abusing Siima, you forget that she is so close to her midterm access. She won't buy for you things.
Is that the missed call I keep saying NSSF?
Yes.
That's them?
Yes. Yes.
Not radio, not cause they asked, not cause the streets were hungry, but because Siima got money.
Oh
Because
my
Siima got money.
This is true.
We have to come back together at this time.
Guys.
A year or two.
I'm not giving either of you a single
Hey,
coin.
hey, you are the people. You come there from New York, then you forget about us.
Hey.
What is this?
Manya okusuulira omugaga.
Omulyaza amanya.
Oluseche Pro Max. Siima is about to become richer.
But I need to ask you, what is the manual for when your friend becomes popular to that level of FU money and you're out there? How do you approach them? Say, for instance, you were friends, but you hadn't talked in maybe a few months. But then your boy, like, if you're like, hey, Soran, what's up, bro? School fees. They can send you like $1 million.
But if they're your boy, why have you not spoken to them
Because
in a while?
life happens. Because
Okay, fine, fair enough. Life
Because
does happen.
millennials, Gen Zs, because I don't care, the president.
I think it can potentially be awkward because obviously when I mean, there's some
Siima is
people
the
when
one
you're
who said that she hates phone calls.
Okay.
I don't like phone calls. Just text me. Yes, but please
Send you an SMS?
No, not SMS. You can send me a WhatsApp.
Because
But
like Siima,
don't start with hi dear because I will ignore you.
I mean, like for instance, like your buddy Joseph Opio, one of the greatest writers New York has ever seen. You know,
Emmy Award winning.
Emmy Award winning, yeah.
the first time many of his very close friends heard about the move, and he warned us, like, guys, you find out in your own way.
Yeah.
Was when they printed his salary in the papers. Like, this guy earns more than your ministers combined. So what's the next convo with such a friend? Like, what up, bro? Long time, oh. What up, bro? Long time.
Well, I mean, I think if this person is genuinely your friend, I mean, presumably you'll
They
have
now
been
are.
there. You'll have been there through their journey to get to where they are. Okay. So you will be one of the first people to have celebrated with them. But if you're immediately going to turn up and holler at them with your mouth open and your hands out, then I don't think that you really are that real of a friend.
I just got a flashback.
What, when you had your mouth open and your hands out?
Baby,
Oh no! But yeah, it can be awkward.
It can be awkward.
It can be awkward. But I think it can also be awkward for the person if you are that person who's gotten that money.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, is Rudende really hollering at me because he genuinely wants to know how I am?
I think you would know because if we've had that kind of relationship, even you would feel it like, man, let me, I climb up to reach back down to at least elevate you to the next rung.
Yeah.
You get it.
Because we have those things.
If you are that way, if you were that way before, but success has many relatives. Failure is an orphan.
Yeah.
So everybody will come crawling out
you can
of the
tell from
woodwork,
the energy the person gives you in the text what they want. If I'm throwing you your empako, Tamoti, I'm like, yeah, you are money. Jam, a long time. Like, oh, you're digging up. Is there a subtle way to go about? Because I'm asking for a friend. You know?
Are you asking for a friend?
I know people who have joined the Lakers. There's people who you need to check on people without looking obvious that you want land in, you know.
Again, I think it depends on your pre-existing relationship.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you're friends to friends who have cousins who are buddies to their ex,
please let it go.
There you're what?
Be like Beanie Man and let it go.
Oh, okay.
Karuma. Nah, Kali.
If you know, you know. Guys, old school.
Old school.
Because there's been a rise of events in this town.
Yes.
Brunches, soirees, you name it. But they're all predicated on the music being old school R&B and hip hop.
I think because they're trying to target a certain group of people,
The
myself included. Yes, I think that some of us felt like we did not really have events that were for us per se.
This is true.
Yes,
But
so
see,
I think that's
a lot
why
of people, or at least quite a number of people that I've interacted with, go for these events and they feel like that is not, they didn't play old school. So there's a particular generation that you play music from 2006 to 2012 for, and they'll feel like that's old school.
Yeah.
I feel
But there's a generation that you play the 70s for, the 80s for, the 90s for.
that's the old school.
Yeah.
I feel that, and maybe I'm coming at this from a radio perspective, but your old school, at least for me, my old school is the music I was listening to when I was, let's say, 16 to 21. Reason being, by that time you're sort of you've starting to discover yourself as a person. As you know, once you're 16, you kind of know what you like, you kind of know what fashion appeals to you, what music touches you in a particular way or speaks to what you're feeling, and so on and so forth. So
into your early campus.
Exactly. So for me, when I think of my old school, obviously
is the music from 1978 to 1982.
No, those for me are the classics, which I also love, by the way. But those are the classics because those are the stuff that my parents were listening to as I was growing up. But my old school for me is obviously what would I say, 90s? Yeah, 90s hip hop and R&B.
So Shanks VVD.
Not quite, but he's just annoying me right now. I know. But yeah, for me, that is my old school. The music that I was listening to, especially at that time, when you're more in control of the music you listen to, because it's not just what's in your parents' car, because you can't touch the dial.
Fair.
It's not because you can't enter the sitting room because you're not allowed to touch the music system. This is music that you yourself, either whether you were recording it off the radio or eventually you were able to buy your first CD or cassette. That nostalgia, because it takes you back to that time. Yes. Yes, I bought cassettes. What are you saying? What are you trying to say?
So for you, old school is a moving target. It's not a set period.
My
in time.
old school is not going to be the same as my niece's old school, which
we-
might be like Britney Spears or
We
something.
already discovered that. We're abusing your taste in music.
Right,
I mean,
exactly. So I feel that it's something that's very, very personal. Yeah.
I'm about to annoy some people because the people who are complaining about all these musics, all these events playing old school, playing soul, playing R&B and the like, and not playing some of the more music. How can I put it plainly? A DJ who is playing at these events doesn't want to have a listening party. He wants to see people dancing.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not enough vibe in the new music.
Right.
They're making music for chilling, music for vibes. And yet the old school is more disco friendly. Okay. It's more nightclub friendly.
So what would you say to people who like Amapiano? That's for dancing. There are people who dance to that.
Yeah, Amapiano is like the most marginal utility induced music there is. Can you do more than 15 minutes of it?
I can't do more than 5 minutes of it, but that's not the point.
Yeah, the
that's
drugs have changed, so people can.
That's not no, that's not the point though. I mean, I also say what you're saying about people, they're making music for chilling, but there is also a lot of music out there that people can dance to. What has changed is people dancing in public. Why? Because you might be there vibing, whatever, you're on your nigos. Have I said that correctly?
Hold up.
And someone films you and you become a meme.
Siima, allow us to pause for a second because I need to break the fourth wall.
Did I say it? I said...
Siima is a very tough student.
What?
A very tough student.
He lost the hat.
And
he lost the hat. Yeah.
This is, I'm like a proud mother hen seeing her chick flying away from the nest. I know chickens don't fly. Allow the analogy.
You're his egg.
I feel very proud right now that Siima has remembered a term in vernacular that I taught her. And more importantly, too, used it contextually accurate.
Rudende.
I am so proud of you. You've done many things, but I don't think I've ever been proud of you, Siima.
Don't make this about yourself.
I'm proud of you. I'm making it about you.
Okay, fine.
Please. Yes, it is called Nigos.
It is called Nigos. So yes, I think that's also partly why some people just don't want to dance in public anymore. You might wake up tomorrow and you're a whole meme. Yeah.
Inadvertently, by the way.
Yes.
You did not plan it.
Also with the DJs.
So you're saying it's more about the loss of privacy in the party scene.
I think there's partly that. But then I think also now Uganda's party scene is different because I think that there is something for everyone. So people just go where they feel that they want to be. If you want to go and sit somewhere and be chilled, if you want to go to catch a fire and chill with Blaze and listen to some good reggae, you can do that.
Shout out Blaze.
So I think that now there's more for different people.
But we also have that thing in us of, I want to come to a place and set the rules. Why are you telling me that I need to dress a certain way to come to your restaurant? Why are you saying that you're only going to play this kind of music? When are you going to play some of my music?
Do you know what?
Because I'm a paying customer.
Do you know
what's
fully forgetting that there's a theme.
It's my sport.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm doing seafood. Why are you asking for matoke, bro?
Thank you.
Chill.
And also in this day and age, you have your phone, you have your Spotify, you have your Deezer, you have your speakers. Stay home, play your things then.
Get your car radio.
Don't come and bog in our plot. If we've agreed that DJ so-and-so is going to be playing such and such, listen, stay home, misery
But
guts,
I
and
think
do
I need
you.
to do the old school scene when they're lining up the DJs, like you do the death thing. So DJ 1, 2, and you do 1985 to 1992.
For us now, we like day party. We start early and finish early.
There you go.
Also because after
now,
midnight, we
put
turn
the
into
years.
pumpkins.
That too.
He's gonna play. If it's DJ Square Tooth, 89 to 95.
Yes.
That's a dope name, though.
If DJ Come
Square
Lately,
Tooth.
2012 to 2000. And so I'm looking at the poster. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the fourth floor thing.
Yes.
Ooh, it's going to be a guy's going to be the classics. Oh, I can't wait. Shady deals. Oh, this is a guy's going to. So I know, so I won't get caught up because again, old school for many people was a genre.
Yes.
Not a time.
Not a
So
time,
The
yeah.
90s hits,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
from 92, from just around the time of New Jack Swing, all up until Nelly got his IPS.
2001.
2001. That part, you know, a lot of the hits because of the R&B and the heavy, whatever. From that time, that's
So late
someone's old
80s
school.
to
So they
2001.
named that old school. Everything else was just oldies. Oldies. It didn't matter. The 60s, 50s, 40s.
It was just oldies.
Oldies.
Yes.
That time, old school. So these latter people come. You know, iPad DJs, you know.
It's cool. There's selectors.
It's not
not
tika
DJs,
taka.
but
It's
yeah.
not for everyone. Not every generation. Get your own name for your.
Yeah, and
that's
also
why I
not
feel
everything has to be for everyone.
True.
You don't have to attract everybody. You know, if you want to go niche, just do it well. People will keep coming back, and you'll even get new people jumping on board.
Eventually.
It'll take its time.
Yeah.
But it can happen.
They'll want free drinks, but they'll jump on board.
Yeah.
For me, I feel old school is for the generation that named it thus fast. The rappers that you're talking about, the late 80s and stuff, they referred to old school as the first commercially produced music. So 1979 to 1984, which was the birth of hip hop. So your Grandmaster Flashes, your Melly Mel's, your Curtis Blows, that's what's considered old school. So that's why when Snoop Dogg would say kicking it old school, or LL Cool J would say kicking it old school, they were referring to the originators.
And that's old school
from the
with a
birth
K.
of hip hop.
Where
Yes,
they came from,
old school SK. Yes. For us, like you said, it's a very fluid term.
Very.
But if you're going to advertise it, you can't exactly be niche. Because if you're saying old school, you'll have all sorts of generations coming expecting to hear their music. And I think that is why the events are being diluted, because you can't exactly bullseye your audience. You've got to try to spread your net as wide as you can. So it's one of those ones.
It's a tricky.
Kasavo Kanyama.
Yeah.
1 minute songs.
Please don't do that.
You know what? That'll be fun. Just put the train there so we can bump old school in Gulu.
Yes.
That'll be fun. You know what the trend would fix?
Yeah.
Long distance relationships. Gonna be the days where a kid come splits you up.
Right.
No. I'll catch you for lunch, girl. Yeah. Yeah, not radio taking over the tribes. This is the tribes, the only tribe you need. We're not tribalistic. We love all of us. Yes, but now this is a golden era, golden age.
Aren't we tribalistic?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you find your vibe, and your vibe is your tribe.
It's your tribe.
Right?
It's your tribe.
Isn't it? The people that you vibe with, that's your tribe.
Yeah.
And our very essence, we are tribalistic.
We are very tribalistic.
It's just that the word has been... Anyway, let's go on. We're going to get a bit political. KK!
Hey. Right. It's the golden age of podcasts. You know, it seems like as long as you have a great idea, get along with your buddies and leave the group chat and then drop your podcast. Yeah. And we're about to make a decade of podcasts probably in this country. Like consistently.
Yes.
So we've been gone 5 years. But in that time,
My goodness.
yeah,
A lot has changed.
Yeah,
in a
right?
good way.
Yeah, right?
In a really good way, yeah.
The Biden years were off. There's no content.
My goodness.
Yeah, we're fed up.
Sure.
Right? But in that
long.
time, like there's been people who've just picked up slack and just done their thing. They've held it down.
Listen, lockdown got people doing things.
If they weren't baking, they were talking.
Yeah, that's what. I think that's that time when a lot of people were either at home or whatever. That's how the whole podcast space really kind of exploded.
So the loneliness pushed them to say something. They had to break the silence.
Listen, it was a crazy time. A lot of people were really going through it.
Yeah, there were some challenges. You know, audio was always crap. The internet in this country is crap. The
Well.
content, the topics, the consistency. And they've made their challenges, but it's good to know there's been a bunch of guys who have, you know. And here's the thing, and when I meet people who want to get in the podcast world, they, oh my gosh, shall we have content by next year? And I always tell them, listen, just win now.
Yeah.
Start now, fill the void now.
Just keep going.
Talk the right now conversation. If you're out of stuff, you take a break.
Yeah.
Come back as a doctor next time.
I mean, guys, let's be honest. When we started Not Radio, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We literally just went into a studio, special shout out Blue Flamingo and DJ BK.
Right.
And he just said, you guys talk. And then eventually it just fell into
just
place
figured
and
out.
we just started. Next thing we knew, we were doing 5 seasons. So.
Yeah.
5
So
seasons.
the thing about podcasting is just start. Improve as you go along.
Yeah.
But the important thing is to start. There's no way you're going to fly before you crawl.
That's true.
So as long as you can start, as long as you create the pipeline, the conduit for whatever it is you're talking about, you'll refine it as you go along.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
absolutely.
Everything you see right now is in final form, but you can't be final form unless you, what is it? Metamorphosis. You have to start as an egg and then you become a...
Think of the transformation of a butterfly.
Yes. So you come from the egg to the pupa. No, it's egg, larva, clitoris, adult. What's the thing that it's in? The thing that it's in. What's it called?
It's not that. What the word has got? It's called the chrysalis.
That's the one. Chrysalis and then
Rudende.
adult. Yes. So Please.
Why did I miss science class? I just thought that shit was
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's run through this real quick. We wouldn't be Not Radio if we didn't shout out, the podcasts that we love. Of course, we are on the Tribe UG set, and they have done great. They've had a couple of good sets.
Absolutely.
They've had amazing guests. They have great energy.
Yeah.
They're a good crowd. But what other favorites can you guys think of?
One podcast that I really, really enjoy is Being Artsy. Because you get to hear like perspectives from different creatives and so on, and I always love the stories that you hear on that podcast, as well as Thrive with Mulunji. I was she has like really difficult conversations, but you can tell that there's a way she just makes people feel very, very comfortable.
And that's the beauty about podcasts. You hold space for what may not necessarily be mainstream. So you give the people who may not necessarily have a voice on the mainstream, but you give them a chance to say something or appeal to
give the people
even
what
if it's
they
niche.
want.
Exactly.
Right.
So because I've listened to some of the conversations on Thrive with Mulunji.
Yeah.
Important conversations to have.
Very.
But unfortunately not the kind that would be mass. It's very bullseye, but she's doing it and doing
Which
it
is pretty cool, because some of the things people say about majority of podcasts is they're like the phone shops in our city. It's just the same thing. So, you say have a template and we're all following the same template and just gang banging the same guests.
Wow.
You had that guy, give him to me as well. Boom, 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 boom. So that becomes a thing. So it's good to have people that actually stand out and believe in their own crap.
Absolutely.
How about you? Who are you feeling?
A couple of podcasts actually. Grab a Coffee is a really good podcast. If you listen to it. Grab a Coffee. It has Kasiatia and Kataha. Very, very good podcast, especially for making sense of macro issues, be it economics, be it politics and the like. One that I feel should have a bigger audience but doesn't, and it really breaks my heart, is What the Theory by Joel Muhumuza.
That's dope.
It's a philosophy-based one, but he bite-sizes it and breaks it down for you. And then there's another podcast he does, which is a spin-off of that, called PPJ.
I've seen Publa somewhere.
Where he has Pumla and Prima.
Yeah.
It's really good.
PPJ.
Yes.
That's where I'm from. Okay, I won't say.
Then for one, if you want a podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously, it's called the Mob Jazz Podcast.
The Mob Jazz. 2 guys.
Okay.
Find it. The Mob Jazz Podcast. Listen to it.
I think I've seen them. Mob Jazz. Also, when you say it doesn't take itself seriously, I think of It's Never That Serious, my girl Sabrina.
Oh, yes, of course.
She's had some tough guests.
She has had some difficult guests, yes.
Guests who would never pick up your call, but they picked up hers.
Yeah.
I've seen Unconsummate. I've seen some. It's just a good one.
Absolutely.
There's another one which is like, if speaking of guests who wouldn't pick up your phone call, Viewpoints by Brenda.
Viewpoints by Brenda. I've seen a bunch of boy podcasts. That Boy Talk podcast, cool guy. I have seen the Boy podcast somewhere. I liked when Maritza and her friend Angie had Things Your Mama Should Have Told You or something.
Yes,
that was fun. Back in the audio thingy. But also, like we said, as podcasts that stand out, I think there's 2 that really stand out for me. There was one called Twasiba Dipo. What Dipo Twasiba?
Dipo Twazigala.
That one there.
I didn't hear that.
It's really about, because we fight addiction in our country, all sorts of addiction, whether it's alcohol or whatever. I mean, look at X, that's the hub now. No pun intended. But one of the addictions that we have in our country is alcohol, and all these big ads in the country. Oh, come 5 pints. Oh, this is the official pint for the Premier League. And so it made it so easy for this generation to pick up a bottle and just get completely. So when you see guys going against the wave of this alcohol thingy, and so Dibotwazi Gala is one. Sober UG is great. I think about maybe 10 episodes. It's called Guhi. Shout out Guhi. She's had a bunch of people who fought alcohol, and they just have proper convos about just fighting it in a country where it's cool to be drunk. So that's the pods that are out there. Anything else that you can think of? I like Biol and the guys and Faisal. It's not that serious. And Derek.
Never that serious.
Never that serious.
No, it's called Nothing Serious.
Nothing serious. Then this morning I saw Danze. I mean, Ugandans just picked this up. So Felix Don't Bash.
Yes.
Zoke.
The Zoke Something with Coffee podcast. Yeah. So as we close on this one, what's your one tip to potential podcasters out there? Because there's a ton of kids who want to do this.
Hang on. Just the tip?
We can go all the way in, but there are a ton of kids.
I would say consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, consistency is key. Yeah, you just got to keep at it. Yeah, and try to have fun whilst you're doing it as well.
Yeah, because this is key. The president can do it. 40 years, you can do it too.
Wow.
True.
Don't tap
Who says
out.
you can't?
Don't tap out.
Yeah. But also, more than anything, it's got to resonate with you, because then there we'll feel it radiating from you.
Yeah.
So be yourself.
Yes.
Don't try to be something that you're not, and don't do something simply for the sake of saying something.
Yeah.
Are you passionate about it? Does it resonate with you?
I've seen some passion. I've seen Mabel and Ivy. They had some passion on their podcast. They were passionate. They were always crying. Like, oh, we cry today. I'm kidding. Yeah. Be passionate. Yeah. The thing is, I think just start.
Yeah.
Start. Get your phone. Just start.
Yeah.
Download the app. Just start. There's no perfect lighting, perfect topic, perfect guess. My friends are imperfect, but I stick with them.
Yeah. Well, you also can get rid of us.
If I can deal with this, you can deal with the people in your life. Right? So just start. It could be, and here's the thing, the most interesting people are the guys you ignore every day. Your border guy is so interesting.
Yeah.
Just put the mic in front of him.
Talk to different people.
That guy who you're blue ticking, that guy is interesting. He is still there. The other guy won't pick up. So chat with that guy. And we have seen with the different co-hosts we've worked with over the years, you just find magic anywhere. Just start talking and you never know.
That's true.
But the guy that you're blue ticking, that guy,
That day.
Piff,
That day.
Piff.
He'll Ibram Traore that He'll just stand there and be like, what now? Africa, you're mine. Yeah? No white man, he.
It's been, guys, how's it been for you guys? I mean, 5 years out of the game.
Yeah.
And now not radio. Here we are doing a one-time takeover of the Tribe UG podcast.
Yes. This has been great. It's different, obviously, because before it was purely audio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you could just hear the screams, now you see the screams.
Now, yes, yeah.
Trump came back, so did we. Well, like, that guy can't come back and us we stay closed.
True.
So we did the one thing Indians do in this country, just start a business, bring it back.
But here we are, and it's that time, guys. Yeah. We're the disembodied voice
Yes.
of she who will not be named but brought us here today. Is going to put us on the spot.
I'm a little bit nervous about this one.
Let's go.
Wait. The past hour was not nerve-wracking.
That was nerve-wracking, but this is like now.
Let's
This
go.
is like the final boss on Super Mario.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
King Koopa.
Dude. Wow.
Very good. Those mushrooms, huh?
Yo.
That's the concept.
Yo.
Dams is about to speak.
Hi
Damsy is about to
guys, y'all
speak.
should not even be nervous because you've all been guests here.
Still.
Still,
Hey.
So little some.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? How's it been?
Good.
It's good.
You guys are
Are
baby.
you guys going to let us out now?
Not
Please.
yet.
They locked us in the studio for the
Not
last
yet.
week.
A million
Not
bucks would
yet.
be
You need to
great.
just answer a few questions first.
I'll ask you 3 questions first. What you're about to ask us, it is potentially embarrassing.
No,
Will we get sued?
maybe.
How
What?
much
I'm kidding.
Okay.
how much will it cost us?
Nothing.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
cool. So as per usual, I'm going to ask some rather pointless would you rather questions, but would like to see what your thoughts are. So question 1. Would you rather have to wear socks that are always slightly wet or shoes that are always slightly too small?
Age before beauty.
Socks that are always
Slightly wet.
Wet. Like
or
damp.
shoes that are or shoes that are
Like
always
damp.
slightly too small.
Oh, damn Z.
Yeah,
Your
you
mind
know.
is a dark
Damn Z.
place.
Isn't it?
Call it Dark Z.
Even though it's giving me the ick just thinking about it, because I if there's one thing I don't like is my feet being sore, so I think I would just endure
The
a little bit of
slightly
damp
wet.
between my toes. Ugh, I can't believe I just said that, but yes, I'll go
Okay.
for the wet socks.
Okay.
Suck your toes.
But see, there's a workaround. Like, can mob talcum on your feet, then wear the socks.
All right.
But then it would clump in between, so that's even
And
worse.
then that's even
'cause
worse.
Then you'd
That's
get
just
like
Don't you
nasty
bathe?
as hell.
yes, yeah. But if I'm gonna have to perambulate
Ukunava
throughout the
siku bi?
day in the
No, cool.
this is not about you questioning my
Sorry,
hygiene,
I'm
Gwen.
sorry.
Focus
Give
on
us
the
the
question.
answer.
No, it's KK.
Listen, I'll tiptoe around. I'll feel the pain. I run around the place. I don't care. It'll get me to do things faster. Cinderella got away with it. Smelly toes.
So slightly small.
That kills the vibe. I go slightly small.
Okay.
Yeah. Press me. Don't make me smell funny. You go and then they take off the shoes. We take off. We sit there like, and you're the Arsenal guy in the room.
And you, man, masjid.
Exactly.
You get, right?
So I understand where
I
you're
don't be
coming
in
from.
pain. I'm like, oh, Shake, what's wrong? Oh, sore feet.
Yes.
You want to wash? You wash. I get love afterwards. Smelly feet, you get kicked out.
Okay.
Yes, straight up.
Straight up, dude.
And you?
Rudende?
What would
A bit
Traore
of a
do?
sidetrack. If her shoes were fitting, then why did Cinderella's shoe get off?
I always wondered, right?
Cinderella was in Kwetega. She was doing what she does best.
No, but if the shoe fit, why did it
Also,
slip off?
she had to leave something behind.
Yeah, Prince, eh?
And it wasn't on purpose.
That guy had a foot fetish. Because he
I'm
knew how
telling
she
you.
looked like. You going around trying other girls' feet. No, it's not her. Let's go. It's not her.
He
Let's
was
go.
just living his best foot.
Oh, when he was finally got his eyes like
Oh
this is
my
her.
God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shoes. Slightly smaller shoes.
Yeah.
Slightly smaller shoes.
Yes.
You know about that dampness.
I will visit everybody who says take off your shoes.
Yeah.
Because
That will be that day.
no, damp. You're just walking around and your feet are squelching.
I know it's a
Yeah.
horrible
It's
thought.
horrible.
But it's a horrible thought. But if
Yeah.
there's one thing, you see, you guys are speaking because you've never worn heels. You've never
That's
had
true.
to suffer in uncomfortable.
You've never
That's
asked.
very
We have.
true.
You've never asked. We have.
Guys,
What?
please.
That's
You've
very
never asked,
true.
okay,
Never asked.
what do you do in the privacy of your own home? It's okay. I have a pair that would look quite good on you, actually.
For real?
Yeah, but
What
see,
color?
you guys have never really had to deal with that kind of thing. So you know,
Okay.
So
ladies,
you know
I
what you're
feel
talking
me.
about. I get
know
it.
you
I
feel
get
me.
it. I get it. Okay,
And you know
cool.
it's already hard for Siima to get shoes that fit.
Rudende.
That's what. No.
Siima can do this
Let me
with her
stop you
toes.
there. Leave my friend alone.
Can you imagine?
Leave my girl
Can we
alone.
kick him out now?
Yes, we're about to. We're about to. Next question.
Yeah.
Would you rather be friends with Oprah or Simon Cowell?
Knowing what I know now, I will be friends with Simon Cowell.
Why?
I should get there. Siima?
Okay.
I hate to say this, and if there's any way we can scrub it from the recording, I'd appreciate it. But I have to agree with Rudende.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's gonna haunt me for days. But yes, I would. Oprah.
What happened?
There are too many question marks. Yeah.
Why?
The question marks now.
I just feel, and I don't want people to come for me, but no, I feel like Oprah could snake you. Yeah.
But will
Akuvam.
she snake
Simon-
you or will she snake you?
I see what you did there. Well done. Whereas Simon Cowell will tell you, Siima, you sound like a cat being strangled. Stop singing. Like he'll tell you the truth.
It
It'll
is what it
hurt,
is, yeah.
But he'll tell you. Okay.
I've moved over to the dark side. Sorry, the light side. We're with Simon now.
Yes.
Oh, it was Oprah before.
I was, for a moment, I was trying to be in that Lewis Hamilton vibe of we're black, we
Oprah.
go, but no.
Oprah is that auntie
tell
that
me.
you know has maybe done some shady stuff, or some of her behavior
most
or
aunties.
action or inaction has
Yeah.
been questionable, but there's that respect that she's reached that people feel they can't say it.
Okay.
Yes, because you know traditionally you don't question your elders and your
You do
aunties.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with Simon because Oprah being black has a lot more people calling her phone looking for handouts.
Uh-huh.
Simon is just generally hated, so you know that phone is very barely.
So you'd
being
have
disturbed.
peace.
He'll have access to me all the time. We'll be buddies. I need a brand new Ferrari, Simon. I got you. Oprah is a long line of black people looking for fees. What?
but they might be looking, but are they getting it?
The line is still there.
Uh-huh.
You don't understand in line.
It's Africa.
All right, cool. Next question. Would you rather be good at any skill you try or work with the same skills and specialize in your work?
Say that again.
Would
you rather be good at any new skill, right? So any new skill that you pick up, instantly
become a pro.
perfectly great at it, or
Basketball.
work with the skills you already have and specialize in those. So you're not doing anything new and not being good at anything new. It's just the stuff that you already know.
Here's the thing. The way the world is moving these days, there is more space for a generalist than there is for a specialist. So if I can learn something new and be instantly good at it, that's what I'll go with.
Okay.
Yes. There is a place for the specialists now in this day and age, but that market is getting smaller and smaller. People want people who are more multifaceted. So if I can be a generalist and be good at everything I do, sheesh.
Okay.
Well, so jack of all trades, master of
see,
none.
when they downsize, they'll be
Yeah.
like, you're only good at accounts. The other one does accounts, they do copywriting, they do production. Keep them. Then we can give them more work. You understand?
Well, maybe
that's
if
just the
there's
way
that-
of the world in this day and age.
I guess it depends on what particular skill you're talking about. Personally, if there's a way I could up my flute skills where I'd be able to play for the Philharmonic, I would choose that
There you
anytime.
go.
If I
That's what I
could
was
be
thinking.
an even better writer, I would definitely choose that and focus on the things that I'm already doing that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And just focus on the excellence in those rather than picking up this
Yeah,
and learning
no.
of that. Yeah.
I'd rather do that. I want to be on a border, and a border man tells me, I think you can play basketball, young man. And
Right.
I pick
And
up
next
the
thing you
ball.
know,
And you wake up in the NBA.
You're being
I'm thinking
drafted.
NBA, that
Yes.
one skill.
Yes.
And when you're in the NBA, that's the only skill you need because you're gonna pay your parents' debt. You're gonna take care of all your baby mamas. You're gonna have a good
Yes.
life. That's the only skill you need.
Really
Yeah.
take care of all your baby
Ching ching.
mamas.
You heard what I heard. What I said.
Anyway.
And also your friends at the Tribe UG.
The whole line will come and they'll leave Oprah's line
the
to my
Oprah
line.
line will-
They'll
yeah,
just
yeah,
come.
yeah.
And then I'll also fix the railway because let me tell you something. We need that railway. I'm telling you something.
What's KK?
Hear me out.
I think what year is he
The
running?
price of fuel will go down. We'll sponsor MTN will sponsor the first kilometer, and then they'll start the trend, and then everyone else will sponsor a kilometer.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll have
that would
drug
be
money.
actually
We have
really dope.
the River Nile water is the true Nile special, guys.
Yes, guys.
$1,000 to Jews and $100 to you guys, the locals.
Yes.
We'll make this work.
Vote for KK
The
to
Chinese will
parliament.
build it. The Japanese will. It is going to work. The
It's
Indians
going
have
to
it.
work.
Just get the railway. I don't want to. I don't want to miss the Tribe UG podcast, and I need to be in 30 minutes. I need to come on the day
Yes.
of the pod, not the night before.
Yes.
Exactly.
There was a party last night.
Right?
Guys, in summary, vote for KK so he can puff pass those laws.
Choo choo. Drop a track.
What more?
Okay, next question. Would you rather always feel well rested or always feel happy?
Wait, let me tell you. Rest is a weapon.
Yeah.
To be well rested in the stressful city that is Kampala, give me well rested.
Yeah.
Over happy.
Over happy?
Over happy. Guys, I slept well last night. I can wake up and deal with this with the problems of today.
Yeah.
Did I sleep
Because
well?
you're
Did I sleep well?
Okay. Okay.
Finished. Happiness will find me.
Whew. I think I'd have to agree with well rested because sometimes I do like to sit in my feels. Like
Okay.
sometimes a little bit of melancholy is not bad.
Not so bad.
Yeah,
I am
sometimes.
still lonely.
I mean,
No,
that's
it's not even that. But like sometimes, I want to watch a movie and like cry, or I want to listen to a song that's going to make me feel sad or nostalgic. But
Yeah.
if I'm well rested, then yeah. But sometimes I just want to sit in my feels a little bit.
No, I hear
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
KK?
Well rested, I'm always happy. Always happy. I try to be sad. I really try to be sad.
Can you really ever truly be always happy? Is it possible?
It is.
As part of the human experience.
It is.
Is it possible
Really?
to always
I don't
be
think
happy?
it
I
is.
have achieved that.
I don't think that anybody
I have
achieves happiness in the true sense of it. Because that is not, it's a fallacy to think that. Because now you start to think of happiness as a destination. And yet you should be looking at the journey. What you should focus on is, am I well rested and content? Happiness will come to me eventually.
And also, your idea of happiness, Rudende, is not necessarily mine. It's not necessarily
Exactly.
Keki's. It's not
That's true.
necessarily Damsy's. I mean,
Why are they
think about
talking
Bambi,
in my
Mark. His idea of happiness is a plate of spicy chicken wings. Each to their own.
Guys, I'll tell you this: you can't find your happiness.
Yeah.
The phallus thing is, it's great to have a big dick, but you can still find happiness. Let me tell you something. And here's the thing: you just have to that Pharrell song.
Tell us the secret.
You just gotta tell yourself one thing: it's all right. There's that movie that Mnet used to repeat like a problem back before the Gentis were born. They were in World War, the son and the father, and the dad just kept showing his kid the good stuff.
A Beautiful Life.
That is, no. Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful,
Yeah.
rather. Beautiful Life is a different movie.
Roberto Benigni.
Roberto
Guys.
Benigni.
Oscar for that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I've cried in 2 movies.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 movies. I cried when Mufasa died.
Bambi.
course.
I was 9 years old. Don't
Whoever
judge me.
didn't
Bambi.
is just mad.
I cried in Pretty Woman when they finally let her shop.
Pretty Woman.
Really?
Yes, I did. When they finally let her shop, in the fields.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes.
But in the
It is
whole...
not a Tribe UG podcast conversation.
Pretty Woman
Yes, when
made you cry.
when they finally let her shop, I cried.
Pretty Woman.
And Life is Beautiful, a movie from 1998, Oscar winning. If you haven't seen it, go and see it.
It is a great
It is
movie.
a beautiful, beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the best movies
I choose
ever.
that every day, and I choose that
Yeah.
for my. And he comes back with, "Daddy, I fought with this guy." I'm like, "What? One guy had time to put his hands on you?" Like, we spin everything, and it's just a conscious decision we make. It's like, this world is fucked up.
Yes.
You get, there's things that Tottenham will beat you in an FA Cup final. You cannot control that.
No, you
But
can't.
you're gonna control. Your favorite basketball player, Jason Tatum, will get an Achilles heel injury in bloody game 6, and you'll be knocked out by the freaking New York Knicks,
You can
who
tell how
Zoran's
badly
about to
he
be
feels
mayor
about
of
this.
and destroy.
Yes.
You've got to remember it's gonna get fucked up. Mufasa is gonna fall from up there, but if Simba just gives up, he's gotta find his Hakuna Matata somehow, and that Hakuna Matata is gonna carry him to come back, smash Nala, play the Lion King song, and then take over his crown. There's gotta be happiness.
I'm not comfortable with your terminology, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Siima, it's the bare necessities.
It is the bare
Oh my
necessities.
God.
You gotta forget about your worries and your strive.
Yeah.
But you gotta choose that, and I choose that. If there are times where I want to be sad, I want to be mad. Why is Manchester United in debt? But I'll say no fucking way.
It's a riba.
Arsenal still haven't won the Champions League. There's still a better thing than your situation.
There's always something
Arsenal
better.
women have won the Champions League. So say Arsenal men. It's a very PC
And we are
world.
friends
my
how?
guy. It's a very
We are
PC
friends
world.
how? How are we friends? I have the enemy in the corner, and you come from Anfield to show me the enemy have. What is happening here,
You know
brother?
he's always going to split hairs.
Sure.
Forever splitting hairs.
Hold
Okay.
up. Was that okay? Because we gave you a very philosophical. I feel like we went on a philosophical
I know.
detour there.
The thing is, the point of the questions is for us to get to know you and how you think. So we thank you.
Okay.
We got
Do you
there.
really? Some of these, listen,
Give me
there are
that
minds
rest.
that are dark places.
Yeah.
Give me that rest any day because
Yeah.
listen to these guys and Netflix and the kids. Nah, I need to rest.
You need to Okay, final question. Would you rather find a rat in your kitchen?
There's a rat in the
my
kitchen.
What am I gonna do?
There's a rat in my kitchen.
What am I gonna do?
UB40, you left the door open.
Sorry, Dubsy.
No, it's
Guys,
fine,
focus.
it's
You're a bunch of 40-year-olds
It's
on your set.
But the way y'all just jumped in so quick, I
It's
love
a
it.
tune, though. It's a tune.
It is,
Oh,
it
man.
is. I
Red
agree.
wine, yeah.
So, before you bust into song, I was saying, would you rather find a rat in your kitchen or a roach in your bed?
Please, Damsy, why? Do I have to pick one?
Yes.
You guys, I swear, if I found a roach in my bed, I think I'd have
You're
to have
never
like an
sleeping
acid
again.
bath or something.
You're
No,
not-
come on. But okay, rat in the kitchen. We find a rat in the kitchen. Oh, roach in the bed, guys.
Guys,
Damsy.
Yeah.
I'm going with that as well.
Come on.
Because in the off chance that rat is Remy, then ratatouille
Oh my God.
in my kitchen
Yeah.
flavor. So, yeah.
You
There's no
nag
amount
me.
of beating that can fix
There's
it.
none.
No, there is.
There really
but the amount of
isn't.
chiboko needed would cause severe
There
deforestation.
That's the
really
problem.
isn't.
No, that in the
KK.
kitchen is a flex. It shows you're wealthy. There's food in your house.
Or maybe you don't put your stuff away and you're just leaving it out for the rodents
You
to come
still
from.
are rich.
But by the time you have a roach,
Roach in your bed, you're alone, you're lonely, there's nothing happening.
Exactly.
You be there on VIP
Because where should
lounge.
the roach be? Where should the roach be? The rest of your house is cold. It came to you.
Your bed.
that's a
First of all,
bad-
roaches hate humans. Like, they cringe when we touch them. Like, ah, human!
Why would you touch a roach
If
unless
that
you're
thing
throwing
is
your
in-
slipper at it?
It's in your bed. Get a new club.
Guys, it's just, you're making my flesh crawl.
Get a new
like-
podcast.
So just shift, move to a new house.
Get onto the
Burn
train,
whole
go to good in
bed.
30 minutes.
Or would you rather have a rat on the highway? We drive for over 20 years.
Yes,
And then you come and talk very big nature to me.
I'm telling you.
That's actually, there's no big I love it. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting your good time.
because that's where you go wrong. That guy's an icon.
A
Legend.
legend, let me tell you. The mimification of that guy
Yeah.
beats any other
Wherever he
mimification,
is,
wherever he is.
I hope that he's well and that both sides of his pillow are always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 3 times rats were great. Series V.
Oh, yes. I remember that one. I remember that scene.
Ninja Turtles
Yes,
Of course, Splinter.
and Ratatouille. Yeah, otherwise, I hated Tom and Jerry. I hated
What
Jerry.
about Reaper Cheap?
Jerry was a
I hated
master.
Jerry.
What about Reaper Cheap?
Oh, Reaper Cheap was
The Chronicles of Narnia.
yes, the guy with the little sword.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck.
but I feel like we need to ask Damsy a question.
Ask them the
Because
question.
Damsy has been firing questions at us. Damsy, grab the microphone. And yours is a very simple question.
Are you asking on behalf of all of us?
On behalf of all of us.
Okay.
All
Are you
right?
sure?
I don't get-
Are you
get
sure you want him
embarrassed.
to
I'm not gonna-
represent
I'm
you?
going to
You're scared.
I'm scared.
wait.
Okay.
The Amazing Race,
Uh-huh.
Survivor, The Apprentice. Who of us would you take on which show?
The Amazing Race, Survivor,
Yes.
Survive, I'll take you.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
He'll eat everything.
And
Oh,
carry
they'll
us
eat
and
him,
fight
then
the
I can get
bears.
away.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does also
Then-
fight the bears and stuff. Yeah.
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 You the apprentice, I'll take KK because I
Wait,
think he can bullshit them. No.
hold on.
I said what I said. I said what I
Bullshit.
said. Yes, of course.
Answer your question.
You asked.
And you are,
And then definitely
Amazing
we would
Race.
go for Amazing Race together.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Amazing Race.
Okay, Survivor, Amazing Race, Apprentice.
Yeah.
All right.
Not bad.
I got to go there. Yeah.
Not bad at
I know
all.
you're not feeling fine, but it's okay. We're done
Wait,
here.
wait,
But you know, Survivor, to be honest, if I was in Survivor, I'd want you to be our leader.
Yeah.
They eat you first, they'll be too full to eat the rest of us.
You know what I mean?
So he would literally provide sustenance.
Sustenance, strategy, everything.
Put him on a
That's
spit.
it.
And if we're out of food, we eat you first and we survive
Yeah.
on Rudy over time.
Yeah, yeah.
That Uruguayan playing that.
Yeah,
Guys,
right.
I'm right. I'm
That's
that
why
movie.
he's going to The Apprentice. You know,
Yeah,
you get what I
see?
mean?
It's right.
Yeah,
right here.
exactly.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
here.
Yeah. And now we're friends till the plane gets stuck on the mountain and we're
Yeah.
like, listen, Rudy, we need to eat.
Yeah, so just,
Take
you
one
know.
for the team, man.
Yeah.
Which part would you start with? You guys are eating me. It's a PG show. No,
It's a leg day.
We're not doing this.
It's leg day.
That concludes the takeover of the Tribe UG podcast. Makobi, Mark, and Dams will be back again next week. Finally, they can let us out.
Yes.
Yes.
We can get out of here.
Yes. Do them a favor, please.
Right.
Guys, it's been real. Thank you so much.
It really has.
We had to be a one pod only.
Yes, indeed.
This felt good.
Yes. This episode of the Tribe UG, the Not Radio Takeover, was brought to you by
Chenjojo baby oil. If you ever wonder why Damsey looks so moisturized on the Tribe UG podcast, Chenjojo baby oil. And no, that ain't no Diddy. Cut!